Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, and today we're going to be reacting to
Top 10 things in British culture impossible to explain to non-Brits.
I've been meaning to talk to you.
You're talking to me now.
Yes. It's about the sense of humour issue.
I have a terrific sense of humour. It's just very dry.
Welcome to Watch Mojo UK,
Whoa.
and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10
So I think
things.
what would be impossible to explain for me, what I can't comprehend at least, the beans on toast. That I cannot comprehend.
I'm curious the taste.
I
Is
would
it
love to
sweet?
try
Is
it.
it salty?
I would love to try
Sour?
it, but they said it's special beans, that it's like the UK, version of baked beans. So but I would love to try it but I'm just being honest, that's something it's hard to comprehend how it would taste.
In British culture, impossible to explain to non-Brits.
It's not quite nasal enough the way you're doing it, all right? You're not doing it the way he speaks. You're not doing it with the kind of... And you don't do the broken voice when it gets very emotional.
Before we begin, we publish new content every day.
For this list, we'll be looking at a few causes of cultural confusion that are unique to the small island we call home. What do you find weird about the UK? Let us know in the comments. Number 10, Marmite.
I thought Marmite was not like a British thing, but more like a Kiwi or Aussie thing, though.
A dark brown savoury spread invented in the
But
late
yes, that is something that I also cannot comprehend. I have no idea what it tastes like.
19th century and made from yeast extract sludge left over from brewing beer. Sounds yummy. Well, actually, it doesn't. But Marmite fans know the very real joy it can bring when spread thinly on hot buttered toast, with a fresh brewed cup of tea to balance out the salty flavour.
Doesn't take long before new recruit Callum Howe finds another jar in a shocking state.
Oh no.
Oh, they blurred the face of the dog.
Not all Brits feel the same though, and Marmite is famously marketed as a polarising food that you either love or hate. The proper stuff is only manufactured in the UK in the Burton-on-Trent Marmite factory. It's been there since 1902 and produces roughly 50 million jars in a year. And no, Australia, Vegemite is not as good. Number 9.
Oh, so I guess Vegemite is Australian and Marmite is British. I guess I got that confused. Okay.
Public schools are private schools.
Settle down.
You'll often hear it said that our country is run by public school boys. However, this doesn't mean what it might in other parts of the world. It doesn't imply that these politicians went to state-funded institutions and pulled themselves up by their bootstraps.
Yes.
I know that. Yeah, I am confused, but I get it. I didn't know that public schools is actually private schools. That's very interesting.
No more than you should be. Number 8. Insults are our love
Oh yeah, we heard
language.
that.
Yes,
Terms of
yes.
affection and endearment
That's
are
hard.
different the world over. In the UK, you know that someone feels comfortable around you if they insult you to your face. Or they might just be rude.
They're not jokes as such, they're just little things to say.
Yeah, it's probably fine in the hands of taxi drivers, or cockneys, or even Geordies.
When you've lived here long enough, you'll learn to tell the difference. Sarcasm may be the lowest form of wit, but it's also a great tool for masking social awkwardness. It stops conversations becoming too serious and fends off the Brits' greatest fear, earnestness. We spend so much time being generally polite, no one wants to put that wall up around their own friends and family.
You know what you are? You're a big bag of shit!
It doesn't mean we love each other any less, but where's the fun in life without some friendly teasing? Deadpan delivery required, of course. Number 7. Town names and their pronunciation.
Shittertown.
British place
Whoa.
names are famously difficult for tourists to get their head
Whoa.
around. Even native-born Brits will get tripped up at some point. The English language has a checkered history. You can blame most of the confusion on the Romans, Anglo-Saxons, and the
We've
Vikings.
seen this from the guy
Also
from
the
Croatia.
Oh yeah. I remember there was a lot of funny names in Croatia. Maybe there's a video with funny British town names. That would be interesting to check out.
French, and the Celts. Being able to pronounce the name of Welsh village has even become something of a party piece.
Up the road from Llanfair Pwllgwyngyll go get a Quindrobwll, Llantysilio go go go. The temperature got
Wow.
to 21 Celsius.
Wow.
Why?
Look at his face. He's like, yeah.
Why is the name like that though? You can cut it like probably like 80% of it
Wow.
and it'd still be unique.
Imagine you cannot have the job if you don't aren't able to say the name. Can you try?
When you take
Have him say it
Wow.
first. No?
Let me see.
Pwllgwyngyll go get a Quindrobwll.
has even become something of a party piece.
Up the road from Llanfair Pwllgwyngyll go get a Quindrobwll, Llantysilio go go go.
Okay. On Farpil Lingeri Gwinkong.
Yeah, I think you just gotta go with it.
Yeah,
Who's gonna check you?
Sounds, no.
You're trying to check me, you say it.
When you take pronunciation out of the equation, however, there are still a lot of place names that sound like somebody might be having you on.
It's just too many consonants to read it. Like, it's just a consonant and consonant and consonant. It feels like, wow.
Fatty Head to Scratchy Bottom, there are oddly named towns in every corner of the British Isles. Number 6, the variety of accents.
When it gets loudly,
Yeah, we did the
it gets
video
very
on
loud
accents.
indeed. It gets very specific.
Oh,
it's not
yes.
quite nasal enough the way you're doing it, all right? You're not doing it the way he speaks.
Every country has its own differences in dialect and accent, even if it's difficult for an outsider to hear the nuance. But for such a small place, the UK does seem to have a disproportionate amount of variety. For a long time, a British accent was generally thought of as standard received pronunciation, but with the world opening up, regional accents are gradually becoming more familiar to foreign ears.
What I'm saying is that, like, they had themselves proper jobs, you know, but I can't tell. Then they wouldn't date. You know, a lot of them's from broken homes.
That was just a noise.
A Glasgow accent is very different from a Newcastle accent, which is different from a Birmingham accent.
You're a good man. And a good soldier.
People in the countryside don't sound the same as those in the town. Some people in Wales and Scotland even speak a whole different language.
Mary
and
Poppins.
nobody speaks like Dick Van Dyke, bless him.
All right, I'll do it myself.
Number 5, hot and cold taps. There are a few questions that non-natives tend to have about British bathrooms. The no plugs thing is clearly a
No,
health
I've
and
seen
safety
that.
issue. The
Yeah, we
carpets
do.
are about keeping warm, but separate taps for hot and cold, they're a bit more difficult to justify. We do have our reasons, they're just not really relevant anymore. Historically, cold water came from the mains and was safe to drink.
I'm quite all right, Barbara. I ran it under a cold tap.
Hot water was a later addition to UK households. When it did arrive, it was usually heated in a tank in the loft, therefore it wasn't as fresh. Modern bathrooms do sometimes have mixer taps, they've just not really caught on yet. Number 4, the tea obsession. No, Britain is not the only country to enjoy a nice cup of tea.
Do you know?
I
can't
remember
remember.
you asked me, let's get some tea.
Yeah, we drink tea a lot in Lithuania, yeah.
Remember, the last time
I
I
was
had a
like,
good cup of chai.
huh?
But we are quite singular in the way we take it. It's possibly only the Irish who also understand this one. For the real tea drinker,
There's DIY, and there's doing it yourself.
you must understand this is not just a casual beverage. It is usually an addiction, begun in late childhood. A cup of tea can be a consolation, an offer of friendship, or a gauge of how long a visitor is going to stay. When a British person says
A
tea,
gauge,
they do not
wow.
mean chamomile
Wow.
or green
So-
or iced.
You stay until the tea is finished. That's fair.
They mean English breakfast, usually with milk and often with sugar. And please, don't leave the tea bag in the cup.
Tea Earl Grey hot.
Number 3, metric or imperial. The UK officially adopted the metric system in 1965. That's over 50 years ago. It's what they use in Europe. It's what we learn in school. It's a much simpler way of working things out, as you're working with units of 10, not 12. So why do we still weigh ourselves in pounds and stone? Measure our height in feet and inches? Travel in miles? Buy beer and milk in pints? The older generation will occasionally still tell you the temperature in Fahrenheit. Shouldn't we have acclimatized by now? No one under the age of 70 grew up under the imperial system. Good luck explaining this to anyone outside Britain, because it makes no sense at all. Number 2, baked beans for breakfast.
Yes, this is the one that is hard to comprehend for me.
This also for breakfast too?
Yeah, I think this is this is not the full English breakfast because it's not full, but it's like half English breakfast, I guess.
British food has never had a
Lot of
great
meats.
reputation with the rest of the world. We traditionally choose hearty, comforting food, and that's okay. We need it in our climate. However, if there's one British dish that visitors really can't fathom,
This is
it's
burnt.
the humble beans on toast. Baked beans are a staple for the average Brit. Usually eaten as part of a fried breakfast or as a quick snacky tea, sometimes they're just what you need. They are eaten elsewhere in the world, but you'd be more likely to find them at a barbecue than on a breakfast table. No one else has taken this simple convenience food to their hearts quite like us. Number 1. What is the country actually called? The United Kingdom, Great Britain, the British Isles. So which is it?
Oh, I
well,
know this
the British
now.
Isles is a geographical term. It describes a group of islands including Great Britain, the island of Ireland, the Isle of Man, the Scottish Isles, and the Scilly Isles. Great Britain is the biggest island in the group and is made up of England, Scotland, and Wales. The United Kingdom is a political union. Full name, the United Kingdom of Great Britain and Northern Ireland. It includes England, Scotland, Wales, and Northern Ireland. The red, white, and blue flag is the Union flag. or Union Jack, and is composed of flags from England, Scotland, and Northern Ireland, but not Wales. Got it?
You agree with our picks? Check out this.
Got it.
Interesting.
Got
video.
it.
I feel that most of the stuff is understandable. I guess certain stuff you just need to experience, like,
Yeah.
especially when it comes to food, like
Marmite.
Marmite and baked beans on toast. Those stuff you have to experience.
Guys, of course, let us know your thoughts. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Join the Discord. And as always, share as much kindness as possible.